Subscribe, like and share. Remember to click the bell please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of market and refresh your mind. Good evening, guten Abend, bonsoir, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. Ohio国際 investor, 안녕하세요, 各位早晨 Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, guten Nacht, good night to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel Yu speaking from Hong Kong. It's 14th November here and 13th November in Wall Street. This time I'll talk about 5 points. Number 1, finding out the bottom and top by chart analysis. Number 2, how to improve chart reading skill. Number 3, clarifying inflation figures. Number 4, international situations. Number 5, psychological state of individual investors. The past week was really a fruitful and joyful week. It can be seen in the heat map of S&P of the past 7 trading days, which covers from 3rd of November to 14th of November. The most commonly asked question is that, has the market reached bottom? So we have to refer to the previous tops and bottoms of the market and see how it occurs. This is the monthly chart of S&P 500 since the dot-com bubble of 1990s. When we enlarge it, we can see a head and shoulders pattern is formed like this. A complex pattern of multi-heads is shown. This is not a standard pattern, but at least can show an aggregated platform ranging in this level from March 1999 to August 2001. When we enter into NASDAQ 100 daily chart of the same period, it is like this. We can see the head and shoulders is a complex pattern of 2 left shoulders, 2 heads, and 4 right shoulders with a pullback inside it. Why choose S&P 500? For the coverage is the most comprehensive and is used by governmental departments and think tanks. Even though we still have the S&P 400, 600 and 1500, but when saying S&P without the numbers as suffixes, it means S&P 500. So it's quite authentic. But mind that there are 2 NASDAQs in the market. The NASDAQ Composite tracks all stocks in the NASDAQ market, and thus the level is lower. Last closing price is 1132.333, while NASDAQ 100 tracks the top 100 stocks, and thus the level is higher. Last closing price is at 11817.01. Both are commonly used, so investors should make clear. Don't mix it up. It can be seen a complex head and shoulders from the end of 1999 for 12 months. However, when we enlarge it, we can still see a mother and son and head and shoulders inside it. The small head H actually is a double head. The small left shoulder L actually encompasses a mini head and shoulders inside. And the small right shoulder R actually is a double head. So we better go back to October 2006 to January 2008. It is a double top. But when we compare with the wave in 1999, it is a complex double top, or called double top. But it is not the end. We can also see the complex double bottom. The first bottom is from September 2002 to March 2003. And the second is from December 2008 to March 2009. The first bottom also consists of a triple bottom inside, and the second is a high-low leg double bottom. My long-term readers should know that I reiterated several times to mind the text within check on March 6, 2009, for it started the longest bull market in history till now. So, for the current bottom of 2022, there is insufficient pattern to convince already reached the lowest point, or the patterns are not strong enough to have a U-turn. Please refer to the counting of waves of previous videos. This time I just want to show one more evidence. that is the institutional traders still holds a lot of cash in hand and had not put them into the market, including the Federal Reserve. From the reverse repurchase agreement, RRP, it is still kept in high level of $220 trillion. Next week, I'll have a special topic on RRP. There is an artistic method to improve your chart reading skill. That's to watch more abstract paintings like this. You can turn it upside down to view from another angle. Or you can print it out and watch it in a slanting way, or horizontal way, or reverse, or put it under the light and scan it through like this. In teaching videos A7, I even have several examples of applying the 3D paintings for training purpose. Sometimes you may have special inspirations. In the beginning of each video, there's also an abstract painting for you to view from different angles, and if any special feeling occurred, it belongs to you and no one else. How to find out the patterns at bottom and top of the market? Please refer to my series of 14 teaching videos accompanied by electronic handouts. Handouts and videos are from different angles of approaches on the same topic and would not duplicate each other. For daily comments, please refer to the US Stock Express. We also have a Telegram group where Professor Vitali every now and then will release the latest news over there. Anyway, try to hold more cash and follow the Federal Reserve. One thing I need to clarify is the inflation rate. People may ask, even the current inflation rate is lowered to 7.7%, a great drop of 5 basis points. How long does it take to go back to 2%? We have to view it from 3 directions. The first direction is CPI. What is CPI? It stands for Consumer Price Index, and this is chart A, the index. The latest reading of October is at 298.012, up from 296.808. It was released on 10th of November. How it comes? It is based upon a basket of services and goods from 1982 to 1984, and that period is known as 100 points. This is the long-term chart. So what's the usage of this? Please leave it for think tanks or economists. Just keep it for reference only. Anyway, it is ever rising and will never go down unless World War III comes. What the market cares most is the inflation rate, commonly named as CPI in chart B. The highest point is at 9.1% of June, and after 4 times of rate increase of 75 basis points, it came down to 7.7% of last Thursday. It is compared every month annually. For chart C, this is the month-over-month rate, kept unchanged when comparing with last month. It is still 0.4%, but the trend is going up from 0.0% of July. One more, that is chart D, which is called the core inflation rate. It lowered from 6.6% to 6.3%. It is a core index of U.S. consumer prices, which excludes food and energy, after rising at a 40-year high of 6.6% in September, and compared with market expectations of 6.5%. For individual investors, the importance is just after chart B. Chart D also generates chart E, which is core consumer prices. It is at 299.47. Unless you make up your mind to be an economist or to work in a think tank, you better leave it down. We also have the CPI core in chart F, which excludes food, shelter, energy, and used cars and trucks. It will generate an index figure. Please do not mix it up. Even if you want to leave it, you should know which should leave and why it should be left down and under what condition you should pick it up. The second direction is what the Federal Reserve cares most about, which is different from society or the market. It is the personal consumption expenditure, PCE, as in chart G. The latest reading is 6.2%, which is quite near to chart D. So do not mix it up. Investors must know the difference between PCE and CPI. What Jerome Powell aims at bringing it down to 2% is the PCE. The CPI is released by Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the PCE is issued by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Both measure inflation based on a basket of goods. The CPI uses data from household surveys. The PCE uses data from the Gross Domestic Product report and from suppliers. In addition, the PCE measures goods and services bought by all U.S. households and non-profits. The CPI only accounts for all urban households. Mind that some categories that end users are not aware of. The CPI only covers out-of-pocket expenditures on goods and services purchased. It excludes other expenditures that we are not paid for directly. For example, medical care paid for by employer-provided insurance, Medicare or Medicaid. These are all included in the PCE. The CPI formula is most likely to be affected by categories with wide price swings, such as computers and gasoline. The PCE calculations smooth out this price swing, which makes the PCE less volatile than CPI. The PCE announcement is by the end of every month, and again can have breakdown of index, annual rate, month-over-month rate, and quarter-over-quarter rate. Investors better study on their own. The third direction is the Producer Price Index, that is PPI. Formerly, it was not so important for viewing inflation, but recently, since inflation is a 6-star or even 7-star indicator, so people want to know more and want to know deeper. The PPI is also one of the focuses. The current inflation rate is known as cost-plus inflation. Why the price should rise? It is because wages increased. That is, the production cost led to inflation. So PPI also should be minded, but on the third when, just after the previous two indicators. It is again divided into several breakdowns, and this is the annual change. Ultimately, it will bring about high unemployment, which will lead to stagflation, and again lead to high inflation cause unemployment, thus generate stagnant demand in the economy. For the next cycle, investors should aim at the unemployment rate, non-farm payroll, and initial claims. Actually, these days are coming and have already started. So for the G20 meetings, Putin will not turn up, for he has already got some arms from Iran and North Korea and decided to prolong the fighting. But can those weapons last long? It's really a question. However, Biden and Xi will have a side meeting of G20 on 14th November. It's plain and clear that items for compromise are limited, but there is no need to issue an ultimatum at this stage. Both sides will make clear their baseline to others. There will be no joint declaration. But please mind one very interesting thing. In former cases like this, when they only have their own statement, two different sides will talk about two different scenes as they are from two different meetings. In the US Stock Express, there will be a new topic on world observation, which is Thucydides' trap, effective from today. Now the market is in twilight zone. That is in between light and dark, bull and bear. Some said that it's a rebound and some said that it's a reverse. Besides, look further forward to next year, investors should have a better psychological state of two-hand preparations. The practical strategy of holding more cash in hand is like this. Catch the rhythm of those ranging stocks like McDonald's and Pepsi. They are on top of the ranging zone and can take profit first, then wait for them to go down to the 250 SMA and buy back at a cheaper price. No need to chase high in this stage, but those that really want to buy. Apple is at low of double bottom, so can buy for long-term purpose. Apple and McDonald's are in reverse. Apple is rising from the low, McDonald's and Pepsi is retreating from the high. Or try the QYLD, which pays out a dividend every month, so you need not be afraid of the fall. Since Dow Jones is still in second half of wave 3, therefore still some people like to chase. So those can put an eye on energy stocks. For this winter, Europe is in shortage. For VLO and BKR are just rising. They are for conservative investors, and EOG and MPC are for aggressive investors. They are at high, but the 250 SMA keep rising. Investors should have their own idea, but flexible enough to face the situation. The falling of Dow Jones and S&P lasted for 10 months and NASDAQ for 12 months. On the average, there is a rebound every 2 months, but at last it still goes down. Some people just cut loss or take small profits, and it rebounded gradually. When chased up, it turned down. Investors must have a target and strategy to face such a state, or else it's hard to adapt to the current market situation. Whether the indexes will go up or down is one point. How investors choose their strategy is another. To chase or to take profit, or both. Our worldwide seminar also provides a tailor-made and person-to-person psychological analysis. I'll talk more about psychological state of individual investors in the coming videos. Let's stop here. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye. See you next week.